Hello and welcome to another episode of Rufus Eats Cheese. Today we have this beautiful piece of Cashel Blue from Tipperary in Ireland. Can't wait to give it a try. Before we dive in, a huge thanks to everyone who's liked, shared, commented and subscribed. It really means a lot. And thank you for suggesting this great cheese. It's the first time I've even seen it, let alone tasted it. So I'm very excited to check this one out. I did a little bit of research first. I had a look at Cashel Blue's YouTube channel. There's a link down in the description underneath if you want to go and check them out. Give them some love. They're a little low on subscribers and things, but you know, with a bit of help from our cheesy friends, we can help them out with a bit of watch time, I think there. So it's such a good looking cheese and a great story. So this cheese, as I said, comes from County Tipperary in Ireland. But that's not really the important thing. The important thing, it's a cheese made by a family. Back in the 1980s, the mother, the now matriarch of this family, decided to try and make some cheese. There were a few people making Irish farmhouse cheeses at this time, but none of them were blue. So she thought she'd have a go at making a blue cheese. So after a trip to the library, got a recipe for a Danish blue, made some cheese, and it wasn't anything like Danish blue. And then the whole process of going from, oh, I've made some cheese, to I'm consistently making this cheese, this journey of theirs, I think, began. I found with my own cheese knowledge journey that you'll find out perhaps a few things, and then you'll realize that there are 100 things you don't know. So you try and find those out, and then find there's 1,000 things you don't know about that. So it's quite a journey. So I have a lot of respect for anyone who's decided to go into cheese making. A little bit about their farm where they produce this cheese. As I said, it's in Cashel in Tipperary. They have their own herd. I think they also get milk now. They're producing quite a lot of cheese. They're getting milk from surrounding farms as well, which is nice because it's able to bring some value to the work that these dairy farmers are doing. It's made from pasteurized milk, but it's not homogenized. It's come from, I believe, British Frisian black and white dairy herd. They've got 200 acres of land, and this really is kind of great grassland. You probably wouldn't want to try and grow quinoa or something there, but the grass looks incredible. Here in Devon we have pretty good grass. Over in Tipperary the grass looks really fantastic, and of course all that goes into the milk eventually. So they produce these quite small cheeses. If you can see here, this is actually the top and the bottom of the cheese. This isn't like a Stilton where you've had a half slice or a third even. So it's quite short in height, and they're producing a nice little truckle about this size from what I can see. It's pierced obviously top and bottom, and then we've got the culture growing through as you would with another kind of any other kind of blue vein cheese. I'm quite excited about trying this one. Unfortunately, this was the last piece and it was already wrapped. So I don't think it's at its absolute finest. I would love to try this as the first piece out of a cheese. So yeah, I'm going to be quite forgiving in terms of condition here, but I've done my best, and I was very pleased to actually find it at all. Waitrose again. Oh, actually, just before I try this, part of the process is once they've pressed their cheeses and they've drained the whey and everything else, the cheeses are formed, they then drop them into a nice little salt bath, so they bob around in there for a while before they get pierced. And then the process goes where they they're turned regularly, and they have, as you can imagine, thousands of cheeses going through the system. It's not a case of, you make the day's cheese and you sell it. You then have to go through the process of affinage to make the curds into something. So this is one of the real areas where cheese skill comes in. So I think we should dive into this. I'm going to cut the bottom off here so I can hopefully get, let's have a little look inside actually. Also get it's a beautiful looking cheese. Look at that. Look at that. It has appears to have the moistness of something like a Long Clawson Stilton. It has a similar feel, perhaps a little moister even, and quite a different rind. The blue vein there is a little bit of crumbliness to it in a similar way. So I'm actually going to take a slice from here. So I'm getting, hopefully, a nice little dollop from the middle. Now this is actually quite sticky. As I said, it did seem to be a little damp in its wrapping. I don't know how much of that is to do with it being having a washed rind. I don't know if it's one that's regularly washed. Perhaps if you're watching, guys, you could let us know. Oh, it smells amazing. So it has that lovely bitter saltiness of a Stilton on the nose, but there's something else as well. It smells a lot creamier to me. There's a hint of mushroom to it. That smells amazing. My mouth is really watering now. I'm gonna dive straight in, I think, because I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to hold this for in one piece. Oh wow. Wowzers, I was not prepared for that. That's incredible, guys. The texture is really quite different to Stilton. It does have some similarities in the savoury tone, the umami, and that saltiness, but the texture is quite different. The texture is almost has this slight fudginess that I mentioned with the country cheeses, sheep's tall. Wow, I wasn't quite prepared for that. I was waiting to describe the cheese and then completely missed it because I was caught off guard there. Right, I'm going to try this again and I will do my best to actually describe it to you. So, here we go, let's give this another try. Straight away, saltiness, a very gentle bitterness. It's not as bitter as Stilton. It has this slight sweetness under it as well. It really melts in your mouth. I'm not really having to chew it. It's almost kind of dissolving in my mouth, which is really quite satisfying. There is this slight granular texture, as I mentioned before, this almost like fudginess. And a creaminess that comes in later. That's beautiful. It's quite complicated actually. I'm going to try another piece to see if I can get a slightly better description for you guys. As I said, this really is quite moist and gooey. I don't know if a piece straight out of a truckle would be quite like that, but we will see. Let's give it another try. There's plenty of blue in here. A nice balance, actually. It has that bitterness and saltiness you get with the Stilton, but in a slightly different way. It's less, in some ways, less creamy and almost more buttery or caramelly, but without so much of the sweetness. There is a nice sweetness underlying it, but it's not. That really is quite a complex cheese. I rather like that. I like ones that aren't terribly obvious. This is a really lovely cheese. If you ever see it, it's Cashel Blue. If you see it anywhere, you can definitely get it in Waitrose, or at least you can get it in Waitrose some of the time. Dive in there, give it a try, and let me know what you think. I'm going to give this a go on some other things at some point. I might try it toasted, or maybe in a soup or something. That would be kind of nice. So make sure you give Cashel Blue a try. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.